let's get started here.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, shit.
This is the bill for these podcasts number 8.
Mm-hmm.
8? With Curby and
Greenleaf.
Joshua. Is it weird every time I'm thinking about you, I say your full name, Joshua Greenleaf?
Yeah, not many people call me Joshua.
It's because of social media, man.
I should probably change that.
Because every time I need to search you or tag you, I gotta type Joshua. So
Mine's the same way, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mine's my full name.
yeah, that's weird.
I don't know
Why does it say your name? You should change that. Anyways, no offense to AJ, I love him, but I have no clue how I would have introduced him. First of all, I don't know his real name. I just know it's
Aaron.
AJ. What is it?
Aaron Jesuits.
Really?
Jesuit.
I just think
Something like
that he's your minion, that's all. That's the way I think. He follows you around, he's very helpful.
He is.
Mild.
I like having AJ around.
He supports evil, but he's
He does.
also really funny. He's a minion. He really is a minion.
Yeah, he
With a-
definitely is.
With a great hairdo. Did he cut it off?
Yeah, a month ago,
He cut
a little
the-
more.
Well,
I think he told his parents he would do it for Christmas. That's all they wanted. 'Cause
Aw.
his parents hated it.
that is very sweet of him to cut his mullet off for Christmas.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, he does work for his dad's company, so.
that was very thoughtful of
Yeah.
him then. Oh, all right. Well, let's see. How does the internet know you? The internet's gonna know you from off-roading.
Told you it was gonna happen.
Okay, everybody, that's my landlord outside working on his truck. Mind you, it's 9 o'clock at night.
It's 9 o'clock.
Fucking, wow, rude. Bang on the fucking window.
out there.
Why don't you just go wrestle Colby into the
Yeah, beat him up. You could see it through the window too. That's great. So anyways, people on the internet know you from off of driving your Jeep just a little bit more than it's built for, all the time,
Sometimes.
every time you get in it,
Yeah, I guess.
just a little more.
Well,
than
it's not really more than what it's built for. It's kind of what I built it for.
No. You drive it just a little more than it can handle every time,
All right, sure.
which is why it looks the way it does now.
Yeah, it's pretty wasted.
And people know you from fabrication, I guess. Roll cage. We'll just call it roll cage work. What else? Let's see here. I was telling Kirby, due to some circumstances, I had to throw away a big list of questions that I had for you.
Because you said AJ was coming and you didn't know what to do. So,
No, AJ was a factor. AJ was a factor. this
Well, he's not
this
here,
interview
so-
was going to be more serious, and you were like, AJ's coming. I'm like, oh, there goes a bunch of that.
so instead of saving the questions, choosing something from it.
Yeah, throw 'em away. Throw 'em away.
Threw away everything.
So anyways, yeah. Let's see. We started hanging out together, wheeling, just like everybody else in this podcast. You tried to start your own shop once. You worked in a scrapyard. How long did you work in that scrapyard for?
It was almost 7 years.
Jesus.
I still have steel that I work with out there that I got from you from that scrapyard.
So do I.
Yep. Big pieces of 1/4 inch.
I have stuff everywhere.
I don't think I've ever bought 1/4 inch. I've either like schmoozed my way into stealing it or finding it, taking it off a tractor,
I used to get a lot.
getting it
there.
from you. I got a lot out there. Wow. Remember that big L piece you gave me? No.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
actually I do.
Yeah, still got it.
You do?
I got a weird piece cut out of it, so there's like a javelin sticking out of it. It's really unsafe. It's good.
That's
Yeah,
alright.
I keep it standing up, you know?
You'll use that javelin part once.
Yeah.
One time.
It's just my 2-year-old walks around the shop every day. It's fine.
That's character.
How do you... So, yeah, see, that's as far as I really know. I remember one day I was at your shop, the one that you and Cam had, and I was looking around and it was like blew my mind. I'm like, why do you have all these snap-on tools, dude? I thought you just like worked at a scrapyard, and you're like, oh, I like went to school for this shit. And I'm like,
You did?
oh, I had no clue. Yeah,
Yeah.
Know that?
tell the people. What'd you go to school for?
Well, I went to Barron Institute after high school for...
Oh, I thought you went to a vocational school.
No, I just took... In high school, I took... They're like automotive classes because we had like automotive stuff at my high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a bunch of, all the classes that I could for that. And was always kind of messing with stuff that I had and had a couple friends that had like race cars and stuff. So was always helping them. And
Yeah, you weren't out. What were you driving in high school?
the first thing I had was a 85 K10. that didn't last very long. So like 2 months, I blew it up, and then I didn't have anything to drive, so I drove a Chrysler New Yorker.
Ooh.
That thing was actually pretty sweet.
It outlasted the Chevy. Okay.
Not that long. You blew the tranny in that, and then I got another Chevy. Had that for a while, like a semi-built, small block. I didn't really know all that much back then. I thought I knew everything, obviously.
Do you know anything now?
I know a little bit more. I don't know that much, but I know a little more. But yeah.
So you went
After
what's Barron Institute? Is that a 2-year thing or like an 18-month thing? What is that?
How long was it? I think it's supposed to be a year. It's a year, and then I took like an extra 3-month thing, so whatever, 15 months.
And that was for body work?
Yeah, the first 4 months is all for like regular body work, more or less. So like the first thing is like welding, and they kind of get you familiar with like metalworking and shit, and like, you know, but some people don't even know like between screwdrivers and like, so they gotta tell you like what's, you know, what's different
scratch, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like the first couple of days are like, do you know the difference between a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver? You know, like it's pretty basic. And obviously, if everybody in the class is like, yeah, you know, we're good, they kind of speed it up a little. Yeah, but.
Do you have American sockets? Throw them away. It's 2018. Well, that was back in what, the 80s?
Almost. It was I don't know, 2007 maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
I graduated in 06, so.
American sizes were still inadequate then. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
But yeah, so it was all like.
What was the 3-month specialty course? Was it like a
custom auto body. So the whole thing was just geared around like just wild, you know, auto body customizing, whatever. So like
basically
briefly like showed us how to TIG weld, and then our teacher was kind of big into like pinstriping and doing shit like that, and like, you know, wild colors and stuff. So we made a half of a motorcycle gas tank out of a flat piece of steel, and then like I had a couple street bike helmets and dirt bike helmets, like I painted like weird things on. A couple kids like brought their trucks in, like one dude had a S10, he body dropped it, he was gonna do I think he put bags in it, or I don't know, he did a bunch of
body
stuff.
dropped? That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of work. It took him like the whole 3 months to do it.
Wow.
But they had like an English wheel and like power hammer thing, and like they had all those funky tools. They're like, you know,
how much
auto body
sheet metal did
fabrication
you waste
shit
in that class?
I don't know, not that much. Honestly, I like skipped it most of the time. Like,
really?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like that time of your life where you just didn't really care. I didn't really care that much, so I would go, and I didn't, you know, probably didn't put forth enough effort.
Yeah, well, you were young.
Yeah, exactly. I was, whatever, 19, 18.
That's so crazy, like the difference. I remember, what was I doing? I was cutting my Jeep in half the first time. Yeah, the first time. And I was like, I think I was talking about how I was going to get windows out and I didn't want to break them and make a mess. And you're like, dude, just tear them out of there, you know, telling me the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And it hit me then. I'm like, wow, like, you have to work with stuff so much to feel comfortable with it. Now, I'm totally comfortable with just cutting shit up, making it out of tubing.
Dude, I
cutting
said that.
cars in half. But like back then, it was so scary to even like make a custom control arm. It was like, oh, this is so much measuring. You know, this holds the axle in.
Yeah,
Is my steering gonna be affected by this? Now I'm just like, torch it all out.
I remember the first time I built axles for my Jeep. I built the 3-link for the front of the thing, and I drove like one of the first places I took it was from where I lived at my buddy's house in Marlboro to the beach in Connecticut, and it was like an hour ride, 45 minutes or whatever, and I'm like pulling over at gas stations like,
checking
are
it
things
all out.
falling off yet? Like, what's going on? You know, obviously it was all good, but I still have all the same 3-link mounts on the chassis from then, so
now I'm at a
pretty
point.
boogered on.
Now I'm at a point where I'm like, just building stuff from scratch in my mind is easier than putting bolt-on parts on. People are like, can you put like a short arm lift on my Jeep TJ. I'm like, yeah, we could just like make a suspension. That'd be easier.
It is, but then
Put the axle exactly where you want it to begin with, instead of like trying to buy parts that'll put it there.
Yeah, some of them don't really work that well.
No, that stuff's awful, man. So, yeah. So now you went from a scrapyard and having your own shop to working at DMR Off Road, where you mostly do what?
Oh, jeez.
You do everything.
All kinds of stuff.
You do everything.
Everything, yeah. Like today, the first job I finished up frame repair on a Tacoma. Surprise, surprise.
On the back,
Yep.
like in the up.
Leaf spring area.
Yeah.
Leaf spring mounts.
Still running.
Yep. Both sides and a shock mount.
Yep.
Not a bad job. Finished that up this morning, and then we did what did I do? 2 sets of tires.
That's good. Good
Set
exercise.
of Patagonias.
Ooh.
Set of 35s. Mounted up a set of those for Tyler Thompson. If
Really?
anybody knows him,
Wow,
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Not super swampers?
No?
No.
No, they're for his daily driver.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he owned anything besides super swampers, but that's okay.
Groundhogs.
Okay. Whoa. Yeah, that is super swamp. It's the super swamper's grandfather.
Yes. But yeah, and then what else did I do? We tore into a really broken Dana 30.
Really?
That was kind of fun, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Gears are all blown apart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
By beating or just by being an old Dana 30?
I don't know. It's got
Don't know.
35s.
It's my job to fix it. I don't know. I don't ask questions.
Yeah. I
30
try not to ask questions.
35s.
I just fix it.
Oh man, it's amazing. I never had a problem with my stock axles.
I think you did, and you just ignored it.
They made it till I chopped them out.
How long was that?
4 years I had those stock axles on 35s.
At least. Yeah, but they're always bald.
My tires? No, they're brand new. I sold them to you after they were
Bald.
used. They were lightly used
They're
when I
bald.
sold them. Those were brand new when I bought them.
No, they
What kind of
weren't.
tires?
They were all terrains. Not much traction going on there. But there was a lot of times where I hit third gear in 4 low, so that's enough to break a Dana 30. Yeah.
I hit third gear and 4 low like every time I take mine out.
Yeah, well, if you look at a picture of your Jeep, it shows.
It's okay.
I think third gear in an automatic's a little different than in a standard.
Yeah, it's like
That-
35 miles an hour.
Yeah, we're talking about like 15 miles an hour in a standard.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so that's. Oh, hold on. Let me look at my half-ass list that I.
Oh, you made a list?
I can't believe they're out there banging on that truck, ruining the podcast.
Yeah.
Colby's gonna listen to this too, so make sure we scold him.
Does Colby actually listen to these?
Yeah, he does.
Really?
Yeah, he's a great landlord. Decent friend too.
Yeah. You wouldn't go that far.
Is he usually out here at night working on this truck?
Never,
Of course.
ever,
So
never once, ever.
you guys
I work on
planned
this.
this, right? Oh, you work on this truck?
Yeah, it was my landlord, of course.
Must be nice.
Before I read the rest of this list is confusing. What is your favorite go fast music? When you're going fast, what's the ideal music besides the sound of
know.
your Jeep crying stop?
I mean, you can't really hear anything besides the Jeep crying. Couple creaks.
Mine's house music.
House music?
Yeah, it sets me off every time.
I don't know. Probably something pretty heavy.
Yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't really have like anything specific.
Nothing
like I
trigger-
gotta put this on.
No, not
No.
gotta put this on, but something that triggers you.
Yeah, probably something pretty heavy.
Hmm.
Either that or some good like old school rap or something. Kind of just get in the flow.
Something with a heavy beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kirby, what makes you want to go fast?
Everything. I don't know. It all depends.
The sun coming up.
Yeah.
I think just the
See, like,
the feel of my Jeep makes me want to go fast. You sit in the seat,
no
the
shit.
steering wheel. It's not even about the music.
no, there's definitely some shit. Like, there's some heavy songs that just, like, even in the Tacoma, I just start driving, like, ding instantly. And then there's, like, rap shit, too. I don't know, everything.
Yeah.
Well, I used to listen to a lot of music when I used to ride, like street bike and shit. And I don't know. I guess sometimes when listen to some heavy stuff, you do some crazy things. Things
It's
I
true.
probably shouldn't have.
Yes.
whatever.
You do things without thinking. At least in your Jeep, you got a roll cage and a harness, and you can do things without thinking.
Yeah. Nah. You still gotta think. You gotta think. That's gonna hurt.
Oh, man.
Probably more.
Isn't
Yeah.
it? So you're a perfect example of this. Like, it's so crazy how much the more we wheel, the more like the group of people separate into separate groups. Like, there's people like me who I went to the full trailer rig thing, but I'm kicking it back down the street vehicle, right?
I noticed.
Then there's people that are doing rear steer 42s and stickies that are just for rock crawling. And then there's some people like you that you're like, yeah, I like the big axles, I like the big tires, but I also like driving a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather actually just drive than necessarily go to like some really hard rock trail and spend like 5 hours and move a quarter mile.
See,
Yeah.
I think that was always my thing.
Yeah.
Like that, like
Seat time.
yeah, it's just not like yeah, it's fun, but it's like if you spend 6 hours on one trail, it's like this is fucking stupid.
I was gonna ask you because like,
You know, it's rewarding to make it over something that's like huge, or you look at it and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it's like driving over a bunch of Volkswagens. But
it's also cool to be out all day doing shit
Yeah.
instead of doing
Yeah,
one
like-
thing.
burn a tank of gas because you're beating on the thing for miles versus
Yeah.
idling.
Because I started with that because I was gonna ask you, you know, we're going racing
We are.
in 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you if you think you're going to get the racing bug, like the wicked bad one where you just give up everything in life and you just do anything you can to go racing. But I don't think you're going to do that because I think you're like me and all you care about is seat time. Like, you care about driving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to, like, wreck wheel. You know,
Yeah,
and
but
go
like
out
the racing bug I'm
frequently.
talking about is people that get so out of control that they're dealing with sponsors, prepping the vehicle, and they end up just driving at a race once a month.
Yeah, no, that's
You
not
know?
going to be me.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like that. Because I was going to ask you, like, oh, you're going to get sponsors and stuff like that. And I don't think you can accommodate big sponsors and stuff unless you're, like, going all in like that. Right?
Yeah.
Do you think you can while still being recreational but doing fun wheeling?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It's all about the sponsors really want to see, you know, like exposure,
Yeah.
you know, one way or another, you know. So even if you just, you know, there's people that get sponsorship help, and, you know, sponsorship is many different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to write you a check or whatever, or, you know, just help you out with parts and stuff, which is big sometimes.
In this day and age, too, though, I think, like, you don't have to depend on just appearing at events. Like, you can
Oh.
fill it in with recreational wheeling as long as you're
Definitely.
pumping up the social media and people
Yeah.
are seeing it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Aussie Locker, Torque Locker, they helped me out a lot.
For a while now, right?
Yeah, they definitely have
For
for
years.
Quite a few years, 3 or 4 years. I've had their Dana 60 Torque Locker in the front of my Jeep for 3 years or whatever now.
Didn't you have that before that it even went in full sales? Like you
No,
had,
it had just come out.
Oh, okay.
More or less. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they've been. That's one I have not. They're still small, but I have not heard a bad thing about them.
No,
Like at all.
definitely not.
I've heard
They're-
great stuff about their customer service too. They are snappy with helping people out.
Yeah, because you're always, you know, customer service is Cora. And
Yeah.
She's really friendly. She's awesome. You know, so.
First name basis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, so, she, you know, if you have a question or anything, and you know, you're gonna end up talking to her or Eric, her
Yeah.
husband. So, you know, they're definitely very helpful.
Did you guys see the you know, what's it called? Donut Media?
Yeah.
Did you see the review? Was it Jason Shear's car? The orange icon car? Is that Jason Shear?
I don't know.
Whatever. You didn't see it?
No.
Whatever. They reviewed King of the Hammers. That
Oh.
guy. You know, the chubby dude with the blonde beard.
Who?
Whatever. The guy from Donut Media. Anyways. But he's like talking about the cars and, you know.
Oh,
You know how-
I was gonna watch that, and I
you,
like
you should. It's
supposed
really.
to, and
it's
then I
funny
lost
because
it.
makes you
on
really.
Facebook. I couldn't find
Yeah,
it again.
it makes you realize how crazy we are, how like accepting we are of what this sport is.
Yeah.
Because like he talks up, he's like, you go like 130 miles an hour in the desert, after you drive over these rocks.
Yeah.
And then you do it again.
Right.
And he's like emphasizing it and stuff. But then
These guys
like,
are crazy.
he gets wicked dramatic and he's like, "Oh, this and the winner gets $100,000." And I'm just like, oh, man, do you know what the race teams that actually win King of the Hammers? Do you know how much that team costs for the year? It's like,
Oh, it's stupid.
yeah, $500,000. You know. So,
I talked to Lucas Murphy one time. I bought a couple tires off of him.
yeah.
And we were just kind of looking at his car. We were just talking about it, whatever. And he was just telling me.
He's grassroots too.
Yeah, he was just telling me how expensive it really is. And he's said, you know, the car was already built and together within upgrades and doing whatever. He's, you know, kind of a small team. He put $100,000 into the car in 1 year. And he's one of those guys that only goes to the races. You know, he races a couple times a year.
That's so crazy, dude. Well, you think about like chase trucks, fuel, tires, getting across the country.
You got to remember too, he had big sponsors, so
feeding your
Optima
guys.
batteries did a lot for him.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're doing enough to like compensate your time and pay for the trip, and you know what I'm saying? Like
in his case, you know, they're paying for all your parts and stuff.
yeah,
You're doing the labor, but
Hopefully.
they give you all the parts for free.
that's
That's
crazy.
a big chunk too.
I just laugh because they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you win $100,000." I'm like, man, that doesn't even make a dent.
Nah. And then in some of the lower classes, I remember seeing one of the guys in the 4,500 class or something.
$5,000.
No, it was $1,500. It was like second place or something like that.
That's how much it costs to fly my wife out here.
Yeah, right.
That's so crazy. That's
Yeah, no, it's not about the money.
no.
You know, unless you're Lauren Healy or Eric Miller or one of those guys who can. You don't really. You don't profit off of racing.
I know that
You profit off of the other things that
you
come
profit
with
off
racing.
the exposure. Like Miller, and he's building a business off of it, building race
he
cars.
builds chassis
You know,
and
that's
all
where
that
his
stuff.
money's coming
Right.
from, not the racing. You
Right.
know.
Racing is just advertising and fun.
You know what I think is so cool about them is like they're selling their winning cars to people, like fully built winning cars.
Oh yeah.
And then they're racing against them and still
Oh, yeah.
beating them. They're beating their own
fucking cool.
winning car.
Nobody can beat Eric. I mean, some people can, but
Yeah.
he's crazy.
Yeah, I would love to see him drive in person again. I barely remember seeing him drive that time at Rush Creek.
That was still the craziest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, and that
Up to that thing just hammering.
You guys saw him going on the highway, right?
Well, we didn't
Wasn't
see
that
him.
you guys?
Yeah, no. So we went to Roush Creek and we were sleeping, and we woke up to the sound of his LS1 ripping. We're like, "What is that?"
7 a.m. dude, just
Oh,
flat
it's
out through the trails.
beautiful. So we go out there, and I'm like,
It's the best alarm clock ever.
By the time we got out there, the car was parked, and there was no one around. We're like, where is everybody? They're like, oh, they went to sleep. They just drove here from Maryland. I'm like, where's the trailer? They're like, no, they drove the race car here. You look in the back, and it's got a license plate that says Street Rod on it.
Yeah, that's
wild.
right.
Yeah, and then later that day, they closed off some of the coal roads for him to open up on
Yeah,
and test
ripping
it.
around.
I think it was a new car at that point. And then we watched him rip on the comp course on
That
that
was cool.
grippy. Oh, you've never been there. That comp course is just
Will
pavement.
be soon.
Just pavement, dude. And he was ripping.
Yeah.
So crazy, and then drove it home. Insanity. Completely insane. I'd like to see him really drive though. That was cool.
Yeah.
But like he's another one. It's like, dude, it doesn't. Maybe he just doesn't show it. Seems like he doesn't drive that much, dude. It seems like he just gets in that thing and races.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there testing and
I'm
practicing.
sure.
And you just don't see it.
Yeah,
you know?
I
mean,
guess.
they're not gonna post videos every 2 days about them racing around. I mean, but who knows? Maybe not.
He could just be a sick fuck that gets in that race car.
Yeah, I mean,
and kills everybody.
you gotta think about it too. People that race like circle track stuff, they're not practicing in the middle of the week. They're not practicing during the winter time and stuff. And
I can't imagine
They thought
being.
about that.
you know,
That's why I
mean, they
like.
practice before they race,
Yeah.
but they might only race 10 times a year.
That's true.
That's why I like off-road racing is cool because you can then take your Jeep
Yeah,
and you can use it all year and drive anywhere you want, recreationally, have fun.
yeah.
As it sits now, before it has a big angry V8 in it, then it might get annoying.
Mine?
Yeah,
I got a stroker for it.
yeah, I know. I'm aware.
I gotta put that thing in. I
Don't
gotta
put it
get
in. Don't put it in. Don't put it
Why?
in. Because it's not worth it.
What do you mean?
It might be worth it.
I have it.
I know you have it.
325 horsepower.
Yeah, where? At the crank pulley in the front?
Yeah, I mean, if
It
you
ain't
wanna
got that
measure
in the
it
back
there,
of the motor.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, sure.
The 200 stock. You can't tell me you can't put another 125 out of the thing.
Yeah,
No.
I guess.
What was Paul's?
Paul's? It's dead inside his house, probably.
Well, yeah, but what was it when it was alive?
It's a 4.7. It's a 505 4.7.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how you build it. Compression, what the cam is.
From what I've heard, the one Paul has isn't.
Nah, it's probably just
Paul?
It's just a
Borden?
stroker motor. Still all stock rock arms and shit like that. That's
Really?
weird. I
No,
think.
right.
Yeah, push.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
even the decent, stroker motors you buy are probably gonna come with regular rocker arms, but like, I mean, the rocker arms don't really.
Not
make
if you
that
got a
big of
good cam in
difference,
there and
but
shit. You want some nice.
I got those ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that motor doesn't. It just got stock ones, but it's got big valve springs. It's got it's the head's supposed to be, cut and
poured and polished.
I don't know. It was supposed to be. It doesn't really look like it that much, but
Poured and polished.
I mean, either way, it's supposed to have a big cam. It's
I
supposed
have-
to be a custom cut cam for the thing or something.
Oh, that's what you want in the middle of
It's
a
got a
fucking
lot of good stuff.
racetrack. Custom camshaft.
Yeah, it's gonna run good at fucking 5,500 RPM.
I always wondered with a stroker motor like that, can you just plug a regular ECU in that and the factory tune will run it fine? Not to its full potential, but will it just run like that?
Yeah. So he had some like Mustang injectors in the thing that were like 32-pound
But
injectors.
those are plug and play to a regular harness.
right.
I'm talking
So
about, 'cause,
those plug right in.
Jeep
He-
ECUs are not easy to tune, I heard.
Right. Well, he had just a stock ECU, and then they put Cam Yurdemarks was telling me because he had a like
I'm sorry, say that last name again because I don't know how to say that.
Yurdemarks.
Year to Marks?
Yurdemarks.
Yurdemarks. That's how you say his last name?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He's just 252 cam to me.
I
That's
actually have
it.
his
Yeah,
sweatshirt on.
that's all. Okay,
But,
anyways.
so he had
That's probably what his
I don't
parents
think it was a
call
stroker. I think it was just a 30 over 4-liter with like headwork and it had a cam and stuff. But that was what was in his rig
him.
before he
And
built a
big
383.
Fat bottle of nitrous every time he went out.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I remember
yeah. So he
that.
used to pour fucking nitrous through it. Like,
Yeah, a
every
lot.
time. He
And
took
then
it out.
it made it into another vehicle after he pulled it out.
Yeah, Gregory Stein has it in
Jesus.
his.
Where
You know
did
the
you
guy's
buy that?
name? Huh?
Weren't you looking at buying that?
No, not that one. No, not that one. That was
So he had they wire in some like diode or something in somewhere, and it like tricks the computer.
had to give it more fuel.
Something like that, yeah. He was telling me about it. He's like, oh, it's wicked simple. He did it, and they did it in another rig and whatever. And I'm pretty sure, because my motor came from, Kevin Powell?
Yeah.
His friend Corey King. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever met him before.
Oh, yeah.
Corey originally built the motor like 8 years ago.
For what? Doesn't he have a
Um,
Suzuki?
No, he doesn't have anything now, but he had it was Clayton Off-Road had their original, like, ZJ buggy or whatever. It was like the prototype.
Oh, I'm thinking of
long
a
arm
different
thing.
kid. He doesn't have that anymore? He had it
Oh,
this
you're thinking
summer,
of
right?
Mike King.
I'm thinking of Mike King, sorry.
Yeah.
So, that kid with the Clayton buggy, he got rid of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
That thing
A year
was
ago
sweet.
or something. It had reds on it, whatever. Dana 60s. But, so Corey had built this motor like 8-9 years ago for a 2-door Cherokee that he had. And he was, whatever, young. He was just always bouncing the thing around in the mud and stuff. And he said he spent like, he doesn't remember exactly, but it was $7 or $8 building the thing. It shows it. You flip the thing over. It's got all ARP hardware underneath it and stuff. It's got a high volume oil pump, which I'm getting rid of because everybody says I should just run a standard one. And they say I'm going to suck the pan dry on inclines and stuff, but whatever.
Well, okay.
But either way,
I'm listening.
so
Okay.
he built a motor, yada yada. It was in his Jeep for a couple years, and then he ended up selling the Jeep. The Jeep went away.
So the motor ran.
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
motor. Yeah, he had it. Kevin, you said the thing used to rip. He said with like 38s on like stock axles on a 5-speed. He said you like dumped the clutch second, third gear, just blow the tire off of it. He said the thing sounds like a built V8. It was like sits there and lopes and sounds all lumpy and stuff.
You're going to break it. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm gonna break something.
Oh, definitely.
Something's
Definitely.
gonna break.
Yeah.
So yeah, he ended up, after he sold it, he ended up getting the Jeep back, and I think the thing was like in pieces or something. And he took the motor out and kept it, and it had just been hanging out in his garage forever. And he was moving, whatever, a couple months ago, and kind of had to get rid of it. And I was like,
Holla.
whatever. Yeah, holla.
You're gonna put that in. Your trainer's gonna go. Do you have a fresh one to put in? You should put a fresh one in.
I have another one.
You should put a fresh. You should
I don't know
freshen
if
it up.
it's fresh.
You should freshen it up and put it in.
I'm just gonna go with the trainee that I have because I know it's good.
You and that trainee have a sturdy relationship.
We're pretty tight.
Yeah.
You know, me and that AW4 are pretty close.
I've done some bad things to those though, and nothing happens ever.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it.
The only thing I've ever had go wrong is a torque converter on one of those, and I put a junkyard torque converter on it, and it was fine.
Yeah, they're good trainees. They really are. I drained the fluid out of mine last year. Yeah, and it looked like motor oil.
Oh,
That doesn't
Like
surprise
legit.
me.
I rolled over a few times, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're leaking motor oil," and I'm like, "No, it's trainee fluid."
It's ATF, baby.
It's ATF. Yeah, smell it.
Smells like dead
Smells
fish.
like
That's
shit.
ATF.
Oh god.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're going racing. All right, I'm gonna put this on record right now, so you guys can play this at my funeral, or just in the emergency room. I'm gonna buy my fire suit off of Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
What color are you gonna buy?
Black, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know,
That's probably
because
what
I
I'm
plan
gonna
on rolling around the dirt fixing your Jeep, so I don't want to buy like
fixing my Jeep.
Yeah, I don't want to buy like a blue one. you
All
know?
right, listen. So
she go white one.
we're gonna white.
Yeah.
We could both get white ones. We just
White,
won't get dirty.
White suede with blue piping,
That would be, wow.
silver piping.
That is
match
kind
your
of
roll
like
cage.
color. No, my surprise. Roll cage is gonna be a different color.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like way too much work. But anyways,
Oh god, it's so much work. Cause I got like this.
race prep.
This,
I'm
like-
painting my cage.
Well, it
For no
looked
reason.
terrible. It really did.
Yeah, it looked used, not terrible.
Yeah, it looked terrible. So, it's actually like a gray color, but it's like this Rust-Oleum, like heavy duty paint stuff. And I'm
Okay.
brushing it on,
Ooh.
like sponge brush shit.
Yeah, I'm doing that with a lot of shit I do these days.
It comes out great. It's all shiny and smooth, and
Now that
it's
I'm
pretty
an
tough, but
now that I'm an
takes
adult
forever.
in New England, I'm realizing like stuff that I
God.
fabricated 3 years ago.
it's gone.
It doesn't matter how much I painted, the salt just peels it right off.
Yeah.
But so I've noticed that if I get Rust-Oleum in like the can and you fucking dab it with the sponge right in the welds, it doesn't come off. It's beautiful. I just realized in the past like 2 years, so I apologize to any customers prior to 2 years ago.
You didn't really have many, did you?
Come back. I'll spray paint your shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You do the fluid film stuff, right?
yeah.
That works good.
Yeah, I'll spray some AMSOIL on there. I don't like fluid film, man. Fluid film's for rusty stuff. It's not for legit stuff.
So what do you use? AMSOIL?
Yeah.
That's better?
It's better for stuff that's not rotted out yet. Fluid film's for sinking into rot
Really?
and stopping it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dan's talking about getting some because we do a lot of frame repairs. Jeeps and Toyotas, obviously.
Fluid film has so much penetrating to it that it'll any sort of not permanent coating, it'll peel it right off. Spray paint, it'll peel it off. Anything you brush on, it'll peel it off.
Really?
So like your fabrication projects, if you put fluid film on it, it's gonna peel the paint right off. Because
So like you're saying, if we do a frame and a TJ, and you do like a whole frame repair, use the AMSOIL stuff.
unless it's powder coated or
Oh hell no.
yeah, or baked on there somehow, it's gonna like fluid film is badass for penetrating into rotted out stuff and stopping the rust.
Yeah.
But it also like your Chevy, the undercoating, you know how it's like rubbery? It'll peel that off like paint stripper.
Really?
Oh yeah, it'll turn into raw metal.
But what about like just factory paint? Like
Factory-
painted frames.
Yeah, that's fine. Fluid film's okay on that, but it's useless because it washes off and it'll penetrate. If there's like any imperfection in the paint, it'll get in under the paint.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean.
It's like body mounts, you know, on a frame. It'll just start
Like
peeling it at the
cracks it or
welds. Yeah,
something?
AMSOIL's a wax and it goes over stuff and it stays longer than a year. Fluid film goes away in like 9 months or something like that.
I mean, you wash it a little bit.
Yeah, it comes off. But if it's more for penetrating. If you spray it on like a regular like rubber hose you would get from like Napa to repair like a training line, it'll swell it up
So
and
it's
turn
more
it
like
into
415.
soft.
Same thing, same category.
No, pure.
415 sucks.
That's yeah.
Well,
It's,
yeah, but
the bang for the buck on that stuff's not. Unfortunately, I can't stand behind that. I'm sorry, I can't.
I remember
It's good.
when
So,
that was-
some people like it. I
it was
just
pretty
don't.
popular for like a
Yeah,
year.
it's just
Yeah, until everybody figured out it just peels off.
it's just
fucking
really
garbage.
expensive, and if it's not a perfect situation, it doesn't work out. In a perfect situation, it works out. But you know,
Yeah.
do you have a fire suit yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm debating getting
You need a
different
good one
helmet,
though,
too.
because you're gonna be building up that
You gotta do
that hot rod,
Hot rod.
the S10.
Oh god.
Yeah, you don't have enough problems in your life. You got a square body.
I don't have a square body.
You-
Sarah has a square body.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I had a square
Let's
body.
talk about
Of my own.
time and money consuming things.
I have a TJ now.
A,
Ooh.
a girlfriend that's a horse girl and she owns a square body
Two.
and daily drives a Chrysler.
Yeah. Luckily though, sure.
Hi, I'm Josh. I don't have enough problems in my life. I'm
Hey,
gonna
hey,
build
hey.
a 10-second S10 along with my racing rock crawler.
Her commute to work is 4 miles.
That's true. That's true.
So
She can ride that horse if she needs to.
the horse is farther away than her work. Her horse is probably like 8 miles.
Costs more than she makes at work too, I bet.
No, she does pretty good.
That's good. That's good. It's
It
good to
is.
hear. It's good to hear. Horse situations can go south quick.
Yeah.
Still.
Well, she actually has a
So can-
half leaser, so
so-
somebody like half pays for everything.
Like
Like she gets a rider and stuff.
So someone trains on her horse or something like that?
Yeah, she does like some lessons, and the woman shows on her. She's a little
Oh,
older, so
yeah.
she's not like a kid. Actually, dude, the last person was like this younger girl. She's probably in high school. She's horrible. She's terrible. Sarah hated her. Oh my god. Every day, that's all she talked about. Oh my god, my leaser. Blah, blah,
I mean,
blah.
you're letting somebody ride your horse. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No,
You'd
it's
be a little
definitely-
bit picky about
It's
it.
a big deal for sure, but she was just terrible, you know.
Mm.
Now she's got this older woman, Jeannie. She's good though, you know. She takes care of her and stuff, and Sarah really likes
horse
her.
people
So.
freak me out, man.
Horses freak me out.
Got bad experiences. Horses are awesome, dude.
Sarah's horse is pretty cool.
I would never ride a horse.
Some horses are weird. Sarah's
I
horse
just
is
don't
freaking
trust
nice.
horses.
I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I don't want a horse riding me, and I don't want to ride. I'm sure that's what a horse thinks when they look at my big ass.
I've never sat on.
I wouldn't want me sitting on me.
I'll hold her, walk her around, do
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll
help her
hang out
and
with the
stuff.
horse.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
feed it. I'll
Yeah.
play with it.
Yeah.
Push the big ball around. You know. But yeah,
I'm not getting on that.
I'm not
fucking
gonna
thing.
make that thing haul my big ass around. Especially after I had burritos or something. You
You
know.
say that, but those things are fucking massive.
Yeah, hers is pretty big.
Nope. Still not gonna ride it. I'll ride my dog out of spite before I.
Yeah, you're 75-pound golden retriever, you fucking
You're
asshole.
gonna kill the thing.
60 at most. She would carry me. That's the difference. She loves me.
She
No,
would
she
try.
Would just crawl and cry the whole time.
Nah, she'd probably just give up, dude. She'd just be like, well, I'm dying with you. It's going down.
Oh, fuck it.
It's going down right now.
Wonder how these guys are making out there with his hitch.
I don't know. They stopped making noise, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny throughout this podcast. You're gonna hear like little shop noises behind it.
Bang, bang, bang,
Makes it
bang, bang.
makes it legit. Yeah. So we're definitely going racing, right? Is there anything?
So
we
here's a real
Where are you
question.
going
racing?
I need to ask you
Where
a
are you going
question.
racing?
Are you ready to?
across the street from Rush Creek, Line Mountain?
No,
Oh, like
it's not
the
Line
private
Mountain.
I'm
It's-
wrong. We're going race carring. I don't care. It's in Pennsylvania.
It's the Dirt Riot Endurance Racing Series at Roush Creek.
Oh, I thought it was across the street. Oh, okay.
At Roush Creek. And Line Mountain is not across the street. It's about an hour
I'm thinking about
away
the east and
or
west
something like
property.
that.
I'm out of my
Isn't
mind.
there like a section of Roush Creek that is across the street that's like all
Yeah, it's
private
east
land?
and west.
Yeah,
East.
I've never been, so I don't know.
that's right. Isn't it like across the street and private and shit?
He's got the trail map over
Yeah,
here.
I got.
Oh my god. From what, 2014?
Yeah, there's an east and west property. I don't know. You look at it. Anyways,
But so they
What-
just race all. They loop out like green and blue trails.
yeah. Why are you asking me if I'm ready to race? What does that mean?
I don't know. Have you ever been in the passenger seat of this thing when I'm driving like a retard?
Just at Eugene's out on the dirt bike track.
Oh yeah, you did come with me that time.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You know what?
I don't know.
As long as I
Some people are like, yeah, let's go, and then they get in the passenger seat and they're like, no, stop. Please.
The only more prepared I could be is if you would let me drive. Then I'd be more prepared.
What, just once or at the race?
At the race. I'm in, dude. I was meant for this. I don't think you know I'm messed up. The only thing I request is that like the week of the race, can you just like drop it off here on like a Monday? And I just want to go over some things and make sure everything's tight, you know?
Dude,
I have faith
I don't
in your
care.
driver.
I have faith in him not prepping a rock crawler to go racing. I think 2 eyes are better than 1.
I think I built it.
2 sets of eyes. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Hey,
Nothing you own goes
if that's what
fast.
you want, I don't care. Because then that means I don't have to
Well,
work
it helps
on
you too. I'm sure when the week comes, you're gonna be like, yeah, can you do like this last thing?
Well, I was going to ask you if you want to do some maintenance on my trailer, but...
Yeah, bring it. Bring the Jeep and the trailer, and I'll do the bearings and everything. I'll pack them and all that shit.
Yeah, because I got to get... I don't know. I think I got to get some new brakes and stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
I'll bring it the beginning of the weekend before, and give me the Jeep and the.
I got a couple new tires for it. Dan took my trailer. He went to take my trailer to Maine to go drop off that Tacoma we built.
Why didn't he bring that big, beautiful enclosed trailer he has?
Because his truck's in it. His C10 with no motor. So,
Anyways.
it's its home for the winter.
Okay.
But, yeah, he went and picked up my trailer from my house, and he goes, like, a couple miles on the road, and the right rear wheel had, like, locked up. The brakes were, like, hanging for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
That one would, like, lock up, and he didn't notice it. And he dragged it for
Tires
a little
done.
while. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She
well,
cooked.
his truck's a beast. He
But
wouldn't.
he didn't
know.
even hear it.
Yeah.
It was dually and
Yeah.
whatever. It has happened a few times with my truck, but I can feel it. Like, because I don't have a dually.
So then, what did you do about it?
Just stop. If you stop and just backed up, it would always release. It's like the magnet thing in the brakes or whatever.
Yeah.
So if there's weight on the trailer, it always releases. Just sometimes when there's no weight, it just wouldn't release for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Probably out of adjustment.
Well, I'd like to at least take that
I think
apart.
I over adjusted it.
I'd like to just take it apart.
I just want to get new brakes.
Take a little look.
Because I've never taken the drums off, and I've had the trailer for like whatever 4 or 5 years or something now. So
I've always wondered about.
just
You-
get all new backing plates with brakes on it.
Yeah, see, because I'm a dirtbag and I've always borrowed trailers, never actually owned one. I always wondered, like, I always see these rock crawler guys going on these cross country trips, and like, oh, spun a bearing,
Yeah.
stopped at this parts store, and they have everything we need. How do
It's all pretty
how do
basic.
trailer brake parts work? Like, are they just generic
drums,
sizes?
Yeah, well they go by axle size. You're like,
So the brand doesn't really matter. Like, it's usually interchangeable. Parts wise, like, it's weird. It seems
I
so
don't really-
easy to just get bearings and brakes on the side of the
I
fucking
mean,
road.
You gotta figure all that shit's gonna be so similar anyways.
it really is. So like,
How many
like
different-
my trailer has 5,000 pound axles in it. It's a 10,000 pound trailer. I'm sure I think it has Dexter axles or something, but I'm sure other brands are pretty close to the same thing. You know, they
Yeah.
probably all just kind of, because think about it too. If you go to like, you know, you go and get wheel bearings or something for like a Dana 44, like a rear end, you know, they're just
Yeah.
set 10, you know, tapered bearings,
Whatever you say, man. Yeah.
which a lot of things take.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
so it's just a bearing.
Okay.
You gotta remember, sometimes people build things and they take like a bearing and say like, these are the bearings
Yeah.
that we use, and then we make them fit in our
In
thing.
order to be serviced. I guess that would make sense. Guess that would make sense.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm sure some things are different from others, but I'm sure there's really not that many like trailer axle brands out there anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so week of the race, drop the Jeep and the trailer off. I'll make it look like we're professional. I'll paint marker every nut and bolt.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Make sure, you know, something to...
Hey, is that you?
Hold on,
You
guys.
Like doing that stuff?
We got a pit stop. Got to make sure all the control arms are tight, even though they've been in here for 7 years.
Well, hopefully I have all new lowers by then,
Yeah?
because
Why?
mine are whooped. Well, they're all bent for one, and one of them I ripped apart last year.
Are you gonna sleeve them?
No, I'm gonna do aluminums,
All aluminum?
lowers.
I thought you were gonna go full race car and do steel with the aluminum slug in there.
What?
You don't know this.
That doesn't.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the frame. Eric Miller's frame, his lower frame tubes, and like the Nerf bars, you know, on the side, like the kick-out bars.
Yeah.
they're
sleeved?
2-inch DOM with an aluminum slug in them.
What?
So if it dents the memory of the aluminum brings it back. So it's solid and it also has a little memory.
Weird.
But it's light. Pretty cool, huh?
Well,
Good way to make control arms.
like aluminum links are heavier than steel.
The only thing about aluminum links that freaks me out is just the full threaded in there, but the thread's so big, I'm sure it's not a problem.
Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hillbilly, middle of the woods. Steel. If it ain't steel, it's gonna break.
I ripped. So I had years ago I had gotten links from Jake straight,
I remember.
and like I don't know, two of them or something like that I had used as like they were, and I didn't shorten them or anything. A couple of them I had shortened and stuff, and one of them that I had just left, I think it might have actually been the only one that I used as like a whole length. I used it in the rear as a lower, and I don't know what he used for a welder or something, but I ripped both bungs right out of the thing at Harris Mountain last year.
Whenever I put a bung in, whether it be steering or control arm, dude, I always bevel it so much.
Yeah,
And I lay a little light weld on the bottom, which a professional would probably call a root weld, but I don't know if you would call my weld that. and then I weave over it.
I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
But
I haven't had one fuck up yet.
you're not driving hard enough.
You damn right, and I don't plan to.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put that LS in my Jeep. I'm keeping the 4-banger, baby.
That's a 4-cylinder?
Hell yeah, and it's gonna stay one until it blows, and I can't find
Just
one.
put a Toyota motor in it.
What
Yeah.
is it going backwards?
I don't need 100.
What?
Why would I want to?
What, like a 22R?
Yeah.
E?
No, you just get a 22 RET.
Why would I change
It's
my?
still going backwards.
I can't plug
That's
a
the difference
scanner
of, like
into it.
15 horse more than a regular one, isn't it?
Yeah, that gives you like 45.
I can't plug a scanner into it. It's OBD1, so I gotta count fucking check engine light flashes. And it's got 100 rotted out vacuum lines that you can't bypass unless you run propane.
True. Which is backwards.
Yeah. Or I could just run my stock 2.5, which is OBD2, and gives me check engine light codes.
And no power.
No power.
No power.
But that's okay. My axles will appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
sure
see.
they will. Your clutch will not.
Listen, it's probably not going to work out well. I think I have the magic. I think I have 35s, 538 gears, and a 4-banger. I'm going to go 55, no problem.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
No faster, no slower.
Once.
You know John from Hack Shack Racing? They originally had a 4-cylinder in that Jeep
Really?
with 538s and 35s,
Didn't work out well.
and it barely got out of its own way.
In the desert, or
I don't know, everywhere.
I just needed to go 55 in the road, and
I mean, it'll get there eventually.
I only need first gear off-road. Because it's 35s, and I ain't going anywhere at 35s that need second gear. Not with 35s and 1-tons.
Yeah, you're going to be stuck.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
you're going to get hung up on fucking everything.
yeah, normally where you'd need second gear, I'll just use my winch.
I hope you got a good winch.
It is good. It is good. I should probably rebuild it. I haven't used it in a long time. You could probably use a freshen up.
Yeah. And it dusts the cobwebs off.
Well, towards the end of my Jeep's life, it actually worked really well, the Cherokee.
Yeah.
So I didn't use the winch
Got
much.
a good workout.
Yeah, it did. I took all the air out of the tires, welded front and rear, good gears.
Oh, magic. It actually goes places when you weld the rear.
It worked well, and then so the winch didn't work for a while, and then I took it apart. So here we are.
Still never forget the day. Whose was it that blew up at Field and Forest the first time out there?
Winch?
Yeah.
Uh,
Grimshaw.
Everybody?
No.
Yeah, Grimshaw's like actually
No, his
blew
like
up.
blew up.
Yeah.
He was trying
Like
to winch
parts
up
went-
that rock face.
Yeah, High Point,
Yeah.
which is like a little thing.
Yeah, which is a playground now.
I mean, people actually flop over and stuff on it, so.
Really? Where?
Yeah, it's super undercut.
Is there even room to flop over? I feel like you just get
Yeah.
wedged there.
Nah, people flop over. Don't really ask me how. But
You like
people
how I
do.
use hand signals on a podcast?
Yeah.
It's recording. It's-
Yeah, nobody. If there's, I haven't looked at the play views on YouTube, but if there's people watching this,
Oh.
they are bored. They are bored. When we have the better
How
way
many
to,
of them are on there now?
Most of them are on there. There's like, no, that's a lie. There's like 3 on there. This is episode 8.
If anyone watches mine, it's just bad.
I don't know. I think yours is on there.
Oh shit.
Maybe not. I don't know. I gotta pee. You guys talk about stuff. Talk about Field and Force the first time. How we're
Yes,
dumb.
too.
We'll take turns. Talk about how we got yelled at for not using tree savers.
Oh god, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
terrible.
Name drop them if you want to. I want to get them on here. You'd be
Who?
perfect for this.
Grimshaw?
Bob!
Oh my
That
god.
dude was
Bob
fucking
and
crazy.
Lisa, get them both on.
Oh my god.
I'll never forget the fucking
He'd strangle him with a tree saber.
dude.
That was a crazy weekend.
I thought Alos was
That's
gonna
for sure.
cry after getting yelled at by him.
Really? Thank God I
Not
wasn't
using
like
tree sabers and shit?
there. I was there, but I was a little farther away. So
Weren't you like one of the only ones at the top of the hill?
no, I was all the way in the back.
Oh,
I was like
yeah.
way behind. I was probably one of the last ones, last 2 or 3 or something. It was like me, Cam. I think Curby was back there.
Yep.
We were all just kind of hanging out, and then we just heard a bunch of commotion and a bunch of shit going on. And we're like, what the hell is going on? And then I think somebody like kind of walked back, because we were still just kind of hanging out like
Yeah.
at our Jeeps, not like where everybody was stuck. And they're like, somebody's up here yelling about tree savers. And I was
I
like,
mean-
what? Who? Like, what's going on? And then obviously everything starts to unfold. That it's the guy that owns the place.
Yeah.
He's freaking out.
Because I remember
Gee.
having this like sign that whole shit saying use them and all that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the tree saver weekend.
Yeah, now I own 3.
Yeah, I know. I got a bunch of
Every time I'm at a tractor supply, I'm like, yeah, I'll grab a fresh one.
them.
Mine's got a little tear in it.
Can't have enough, I guess.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Those fucking dudes in Toyotas.
Those guys are. Both those Toyotas are still alive. Can you
Really?
believe that? Yeah.
Who?
I can't remember their names. One of them's Aaron. He has a white Toyota, and the other kid has a blue one. It's on 1 tons, big. And they are relentless. And they stay every time I've been there with them. They stay out till like 4 in the morning.
Can't do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they have like I think it's midnight. You have to be back.
That's lame.
Yeah. Well, it's because
Complaints?
people. Well, there was actually part of the property that you can hear stuff from houses, which isn't too far away, I guess. That's just like part of the property. So I think some people have like kind of complained, depending on like who was out,
Yeah.
obviously.
LS rev limiter in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
But
I
then
mean, if
again,
you're-
a straight pipe 22 RE bouncing off the rev limiter at
Yo,
2 in the
Mikey's
morning.
truck was loud as fuck.
You'd
You
hear
were
that.
behind it.
Yeah.
You would, but you know, so that, and then some other people had, been hanging out, campsite and drinking and doing stuff, and then like, let's go wheeling at 11 o'clock, and then they go out.
Hold
and
on,
get,
hold on. Did we mention what we're talking about? Where it is? Did we use the name?
I don't know,
I don't think so.
All right, good. I don't have to edit it. Okay. Anyways, I
doing
said,
things you're not supposed to do, because
I
you're
said-
not supposed to do that.
That's true. We don't do that stuff. There,
Yeah,
strict rules. Anyways,
Anymore.
I don't do that because I don't drink. So
I'm-
Red Bull, man, you guys are
I'm gonna have to edit this part.
Corona.
I think I'm gonna edit this part. So, yeah. What else? What do we?
That
gotta-
is why though that they put a curfew.
What do we?
Yeah.
What do we gotta do to get ready for racing, man? Let's talk about racing more. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Intercoms.
I've actually thought about that.
Haven't thought about it.
Have
What? Okay.
intercoms.
Oh, I have. I thought about intercoms for mine, but just for talking to people while the top's off and we're driving down the road with 1 tons.
Yeah.
Actual reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're actually. I mean, I don't, dude. I don't. I wish I could tell you more, but I don't really know. You know as much as I know.
Are you registered for the race already?
No.
Do we have to?
I
Do you have to get a
think you
license
just.
for this?
you just
not
re-
this one. Not this
You
one.
just register it there. As far as I know, there's some people who are part of it that I'm friends with on Facebook. That when it gets a little closer, I'm gonna message them and be like, hey, my first time.
Yeah.
Anything I should do before I go or whatever. So we'll kind of see.
Oh, are you gonna have the stroker in by then?
No.
No, we're gonna. She works the way she is. We're gonna go
Oh,
racing.
yeah.
If she blows, she blows.
Oh, she's not
It's
gonna
fine.
blow.
Okay.
All reliable.
Do you
She's
run? Do you
good
run
to go.
normal fuel in that one?
I put 93 in it.
Oh, well, that's very courteous of you. That's
well,
very
it's
nice.
got the few things.
Yeah, let her
done to
burn
it.
clean, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a couple, all the stupid things you can do to them.
I went with the expensive O2 sensor.
Yes.
So I put good fuel in it. Okay.
There you go. Dude, pretty much.
I put coolant in it, not water.
Yeah.
Eh.
It's kind of funny. I was supposed to. You ever heard of this Evans waterless coolant stuff? You ever hear of that stuff?
I think, but for like full aluminum race motors?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Because
good
some
for that.
aluminum is susceptible to crazy corrosion from regular coolant.
Yeah, well, yeah, because of the water. But this guy had stopped by the shop. He was a salesman, and I had never even heard of it. He was telling us all about, whatever. This is our product, and it's waterless coolant, so you don't add water to it.
It
It's
causes-
very specific. You don't add water,
It causes all the cancer. All of it.
possibly.
I guarantee
You
it.
don't drink it. You just put it in your radiator. So.
Well, how do you know if it's good? You got to taste it. See if it tastes like Kool-Aid.
So, anyways, it doesn't build pressure. So you don't build any pressure in your cooling system.
Well, yes, you do.
No,
Oh,
you
because it's
don't.
not water.
There's
There's
Doesn't.
no water.
Oh, so the boiling point's way higher.
Way
than,
higher.
'cause there's no-
Yeah, so they say sometimes your engine will run like a hair warmer. Not like
But it's-
hot,
but
like
more
a
stable.
couple degrees. Right, yeah, it's more stable and it's just like it's better for the cooling system and stuff. And obviously you can have like a leak. You can put a hole in your radiator and like do the most hokey fix.
But there's no pressure. It's just flow. Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa.
yeah. So there's no pressure, like you can just pinch a thing and be
This is
like,
weird.
it's just
Is
gonna
that what's in
drip
it?
I
out.
wonder if that would
It's what?
Is that what you got in your Jeep?
No.
Oh.
We were supposed. It's kind
In
of
the-
funny.
in
I
the
was
stroker
supposed to
motor.
put it in. I was supposed to put it in. The guy sent us a bunch of stuff. We were gonna put it in, and then it ended up getting put in somebody else's, a customer vehicle,
How-
whatever.
What's it cost for
It's
a gallon?
Cool. It's expensive.
Like what?
I think it's like $40 or something a gallon.
Per gallon?
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
you can't water it down. Yeah, so you need
Right.
like 3. Yeah.
Right. They usually send you like a kit. So like if you were to do it in a vehicle that had regular coolant in it first, you put like this other stuff in it first.
To just flush it.
Kinda, yeah. And then as long as it's within like a certain percentage, you get like all the regular coolant out. It's like still effective.
Dude, I
It's
might
like
try that. Man.
Look it up, Evans waterless coolant. It's cool.
When that 4-banger screaming
and it's
down the
something
road
that
this
you got-
summer, man.
Like I would like to put it in this when I do the stroker, because it's supposed to be a little better for it and stuff. And I think it has like,
It's
it
definitely-
works better and stuff too, or something.
like a good idea for like off-road shit, race shit.
Because
Yeah.
if you got a gasket that's weak or a hose that's ready to let go, if there isn't all that pressure and heat behind it and it's just flowing, it's just gonna seep out. It's not gonna blow.
I mean,
on
you could put a hose on with no hose clamp, and it just might seep out.
Remember at the rock crawl,
When Shaggy's whole
and
cool
Shaggy's
out.
Jeep
I
was just
thinking about that
parked
the other day.
and it was just idling and it literally exploded.
I think of
He
that
was
kid all
right
the
in
time.
front of it, too.
He's
That was funny.
He's cooked.
Yeah.
He's the definition of cooked.
Yeah. His Jeep definitely was and is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, that's gone.
I was gonna say, I think
It's
like
gone
this-
now, right? It is actually gone.
yeah, Joe scrapped it, I think. He still has the axles in his basement, and he's got a YJ at his house that he's trying to build,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and his coilovers are at my house on
Really?
Joe's rig. Yeah, it's just Joe's buggy thing is just stored in one of my tarp sheds.
Yeah.
I have just hanging out.
I think I'm gonna get a sign made for Joe and put it on outside the building. For
Joe's parking.
Yeah, his own parking spot. Because he always has one vehicle here or 3.
You might as well.
It's always 1 or 3.
1 or 3,
Yeah.
not just 1 or 2.
It's not. Yeah. So yeah. When you get rides, places. Yeah, it's interesting. I finish a vehicle and I know 2 are showing up. One's parked. One needs to get work done.
How'd that Suburban go?
Dude, the Suburban.
That thing's sweet, man.
I put the 1-tons in, which, long story short, CUCV swapping a half-ton is not as simple as you would think it would be.
Spring widths are different. And
Yeah,
stuff, right?
thank you. Okay, anyways.
I just probably answered a lot of questions right there.
Also, salesmen that don't sell you extended brake lines and stuff. That kind of stuff. Anyways, so, yeah, dude, but I put those CUCVs, man. The diff cover said 32,000 miles. Just to be safe, I pulled the diff covers, drained the fluid out. perfect, like brand new fluid, dude. Couldn't believe it.
Where'd he get them things from?
Some CUCV guy over near Boston, I think, or something like that. He paid average money, I think.
What was average?
In
How many digits?
Oh, four. In the
Into the fours?
wait, dude, two in the two area. But you know, if you build a set of 1 tons,
I mean,
what's
they're
it gonna cost you, dude?
They're true 456, right?
Dude.
Detroit locker
Oh
in
yeah,
the rear.
in perfect condition. So
So
perfect.
open front end, right? Or Detroit in the front.
It's open front, Detroit in the rear.
Right.
456 gears. They're bigger U joints than the axle shafts, I think, with CUCV. I believe. Could be wrong though. They're bigger than my Ford ones. I'll tell you that much. Anyways.
Really?
Yes.
But not like just 35 spline outers or anything?
No, I think they're all the way through 35s.
Those are, so, well, a regular Dana 60 is 35 spline inner.
He's about to shut me down. I think I'm wrong.
Fucking lost.
I think I'm wrong, but I think they're 35s fine.
Well, okay, so a regular Dana 60 has 35 spline inner shaft, 30 spline outer shaft. I think CUCVs would come with 35 spline outers.
Yeah.
I know like some of those F-150 like snow fighter axles or whatever I think came with 35 spline outers, but it was like very rare.
Yeah.
You know, most of them are all 30 spline.
I'm just saying I think. That's what I'm saying. Anyways,
it would be cool.
long story short, perfect to the point where the rotors, I sanded them down.
He was bugging me about the rear end being all blown up or something.
I know. It was just a locker chatter, I think. Anyways.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with it.
That's the consensus. Well, he drove to Michigan and back with no issues, so yeah, I think so.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I sanded the front rotors down. I threw my run out thing on them. 2000s.
Really?
Perfect. Stock brake pads from 1980, whatever.
Really?
Just ran them.
That's safe.
Yeah, they were brand new.
Probably full of asbestos.
Oh yeah, I sanded
Good
them.
stuff.
I sanded them down
Take a
too,
big
so
old
you
hit.
know I got it going. But dude, I put them in
Breathe in.
with that Skyjacker kit, which was so easy to work with.
Sounded sarcastic.
Dude, he
Untrue.
drove there and back, Michigan in northern, north fucking New York, in the middle of winter, no problems. It was.
I think fuel injected.
It's the first year fuel injected, so
It's the first year of
it's a
throttle body
carbureted
injected.
350 with a electronic
injector.
carburetor.
Yeah, it's got throttle body injection.
Pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And it worked.
It's super simple and it's,
Yeah.
I think it's
It
fairly
won't
reliable.
It won't keep working, but it worked.
It won't keep working.
Nah, man, one of those always goes. The throttle body injected, there's a high and a low, I think, or something like
I
that.
don't know.
Two in there.
Yeah, but they only cost like $30.
Not nowadays. They're like, no one actually buys them. They're just like, oh, just buy a big carburetor and put it on there.
Or an LS.
Or an LS. You either go backwards or forward. And that's.
He'll put an LS in that truck.
I got that Avalanche sitting outside. I think I'm gonna peer pressure him into putting it in there.
Oh, he'll do it.
Yeah, I know.
If anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Joe.
That motor needs a blow. Maybe I'll sabotage it.
Just drain the oil out of it. Be like, hey, Joe, see you later.
Yeah.
Whack, whack, whack,
Well,
whack,
he-
whack. He gets to the end of the driveway.
When he
What?
dri-
I don't know what happened.
Dude, when he dropped it off, he when he came home, he just dropped it right off and picked up another vehicle that was here and went home.
Dude.
And before he even texted me, I went out there and looked. I wanted to know. I just built the thing, so I went out there and looked at it. I popped the hood. There's no coolant left in it. But whatever. So he texted me. He goes, "Hey man, can you two things? My right rear running light's out and the hood won't open." And the hood's already open. I'm like, what? I just had to bang on it, so I just need to.
Typical Chevy.
You just had to adjust it.
Hit the thing and-
turn the little rubbers. But it had no coolant. It has a block heater, and the plug's
Was leaking?
seeping a little bit. Which hey Joe, sorry, I forgot to tell you about that. Yeah, but I filled it up with coolant. I just forgot to tell him where it went. Now it hit me. Yeah. Anyways, I'm great. I'm great.
A great mechanic.
He owns 19 vehicles. It gets confusing. Okay.
I know, right?
How many? He's gotta have at least one.
I think 6.
On the road?
Yeah, 6. I think off the top of my head.
Well,
Don't want to talk
runner.
about it too much. You don't want to give it away. He likes to keep all these things a
Yeah,
secret.
okay, okay.
Whatever. He's got a lot. Don't think about it. You're gonna hurt your brain. You're wrong. I'll tell you that right now. You're wrong. You're off. There's more. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That one thing
Joe.
about that truck that made me angry? It's like, I do all this cool shit, and I upload pictures of this cool shit. Some of it I even pay to advertise. I'll get 80 likes, 100 likes. I put that one up, dude. It got 100 and something likes naturally. I'm like, oh, I'll throw $10 at it, and advertised it, so it's like a sponsored post.
Right.
It got 1,300 likes, dude.
On Joe's.
On the
Burb.
just on the Suburban,
Yeah.
just a normal Suburban with 35s. I don't understand.
It's a little cooler than a JK on 35s, or a Tundra on 35s.
I mean, if you look through my pictures, I got some cool stuff.
Chevy
Yeah, but it's all
1500 on
things that, like-
33s.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, man. I don't know.
A Mazda Miata on 23s.
And then I got all these big pages messaging me like, "Oh, send us content," like Square Body Brothers and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? It's literally a stock half-ton bourbon on 1
Dude.
tons.
You want to get more advertising? Do better.
Do what?
Maybe take a couple pictures of Keith's rig.
That penny. Oh, really?
That's just sad.
Don't
That should get you pretty far.
talk about this later. Talk about this later. I thought you were pointing at
God.
that. That's a nice piece of art.
Gilly's painting?
What is that? A flamingo?
Yeah, it's a pink flamingo. Yeah, it's beautiful. He's
Are there
actually
any other color flamingos?
yeah. If they're in an area where the shrimp are dying off for some reason, they're white.
Really?
Yeah, they're pink from the shrimp.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know.
What?
Yeah,
You know that? It's from them eating shrimp.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if
Really?
there's something
Flamingos
wrong
are
with the
pink.
water where the shrimp are abundant, they're white. Yeah, it's crazy.
See,
But anyways, Gilly's a wonderful man. He used to work here.
Gilly
His soul is still here every day.
used to work here.
Yeah, not for me. God, kidding me? Couldn't employ that guy. He's a workhorse. God, I need a
You
liner.
worked for them.
I would need. Yeah.
That's good.
Did I step on his foot? No.
Gilly?
Oops.
Gilly's the one that kept getting cramps, and Joe showed him yoga on the side of the cliff.
No, I wasn't there for that one.
It's crazy. It's a crazy time. Life or
Tuned
death.
him right up.
Life or death. Life or death yoga on a cliff, dude. Believe it. It sounds crazy, but it's real. All right. Anyways, anything you want to talk about, Curb?
I just really want to go hike Mount Washington.
This might be the shortest podcast we've done.
Well, how long are they?
So far, we've gone 2 fucking hours.
This one.
I don't know.
This one was good though.
Yeah, we're only like an hour deep.
I don't
Greenleaf, you want to talk about anything? What's up, dog?
know.
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Everybody wave at Colby and Kevin. I guess. Thanks for fucking up the whole podcast. It's been great. Kirby, come on, dude. No fighting. Come on,
He
dude.
starts this shit.
I just got this new table. I don't want you breaking it.
He starts it.
I like
he's
this.
gonna
Oh, hey.
start
This
cracking
table's
your
pretty
shit.
cool.
Thanks for coming to the party last week, man. Or was that 2 weeks ago at this point?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Was
I
that 2
think.
weeks ago? Oh. All right,
Oh,
well,
that's-
I can hear that in the headphones, so everybody, that's Colby's Ford that just fired up.
Big power.
Work truck. She's a real work truck now. She's got a gooseneck.
Oh yeah.
Excited. They bought a dump trailer, dude.
Did they?
Yeah.
A gooseneck dump?
Yeah. You know how many friends they're about to gain? That
Yeah.
now that they got a dump trailer?
A few.
Yeah. It's big enough they can pull the skid steer in it. So
Wow.
they can go to a job with the skid steer in the dump trailer, do all
Yeah.
the work, and drive home. It's fucking sweet.
That's the way to
Yeah,
do it.
Colb's
Oh,
trucks
I'm in the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
Dick.
I gotta go.
Come back.
I'll be back.
All right, Kirby.
What's up?
Whoop that trick. Get him. Whoop that trick. Get him. What should we make him talk about?
I don't know.
How do you like the table?
I like the table.
It's nice. Microphone. I mean, you're way too far away from the mic. Nobody's going to hear you at all. It's too late. The whole podcast is over.
Really? I thought.
Although you haven't really talked much. Maybe it's your turn.
I don't know.
I got the
What's
headphones
up?
in. I can't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
Talk-
do you mean you can't hear me?
That's better. A little closer.
Really?
Yeah. Good thing you got all that new dental work done.
Nah, it's good. It just took out my lip. I don't need that. I got
You get a letter from your insurance next week. They dropped you.
dude.
No more dental work.
Oh my god. I already maxed out. What? I don't want to talk about that
Anyways,
shit.
yeah.
What an exciting thing. I got my motorcycle.
Oh, you got your motor. What is that thing again? It's a.
06 Suzuki DR650.
It's gonna be
SE.
sweet. So you're just trying to get it running right now and driving.
Yeah, goal is to just I just
you-
want it running and on the road by April.
Are you gonna supermoto it or bob or not? It's not called a. Is it
Like
called a
cafe
chaser?
racer, scrambler
Not
kinda
a
stuff?
scrambler. Are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
scrambler it?
I'm just gonna go with how I feel.
A scrambler is an agile bobber.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's a more rider friendly.
I'm gonna say, judging by your ambition issues, it's gonna stay just the way it is.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be running and driving, but you're gonna drive it everywhere, with 2 fishing poles mounted to the back.
No, I gotta.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
My bike.
Kirby's motorcycle,
Oh, yeah, I saw
dirt
that
bike,
thing. What is
on-off
that?
thing.
Suzuki?
650. Yeah.
Oh, it is a 650?
It's
No, I like the idea of like the supermoto thing, but I also know I'm way too dumb to.
Yeah, you don't need a supermoto.
I
had one.
I
Had a
I can't
Husqvarna.
own that as it is.
It was fast.
Exactly. Like that
But it-
thing's already gonna be too fast for me. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, but those aren't like that fast. They're not like like the Husky that I had. That thing was pretty. You know, it was like
those put the power straight to the ground.
Yeah. But that thing did, I think, 105. Just like a dirt bike. You know,
Yeah.
with probably whatever 100 horsepower or something.
Mm.
80 horsepower. I don't know. It was a 510.
It's not good. It's not good.
I didn't have it for very long. I got rid of it.
the
It's very
supermoto-
uncomfortable. It was killing my ass.
Really?
Dude, you like 10, 15 miles on that thing, and you're like, oh, God, this sucks.
I think the way his sits stock is just you're like,
Comfortable, right?
yeah, it's like driving
It's
a
like
couch.
Cam.
Yeah.
Cam has an XR650, which is the same thing,
Yeah.
basically. It's just a Honda.
Yeah.
Those
It just
things are
looks
awesome.
ridiculous because it sits like
Yeah,
low, and it's all like.
It's just
that.
like, it's
right.
like fucking
I think it's because it looks like a dirt bike. You want it to stand up like a dirt bike.
yeah.
It just doesn't look right until it does. Is that Mountain Dew?
Mm.
Wow.
What?
Well,
I didn't remember doing so long.
that's
I don't
impressive.
know. Supermoto's cool, but
Mountain Dew's good.
I still want to be able to take it down like places and shit.
Not feel guilty about. Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Get it running.
Yeah, that's
We'll
my-
drive it.
It doesn't
That's my-
run?
No, it hasn't run in.
We don't know
years now.
that. We don't know
I
that.
have to pull the plugs tonight to stick a borescope in to see if there's any water in the fucking cylinders.
His dad bought it new in like 06 or 07.
06.
He drove it a little bit, but
It's got 3,000 miles.
by 2010 or 11, he parked it. And it's been
Yeah.
sitting ever since.
Why would there be water in it?
I don't
It
know.
was sitting outside.
Oh yeah, it's been sitting outside its entire life.
But it was brand new, so there's
With
no
no
leaks
head on it or
anywhere.
something?
No, everything's all together. I just don't. Dude, it's. I
It's
don't
got bad luck.
Yeah.
So you don't.
All right.
yeah,
This is how I got it.
see, he doesn't spend much
Okay.
time with us. He doesn't know.
All right. This is how.
Shit
I
goes
ended up
wrong
with this
for
thing.
us.
You know what I would do? Fire it up. And fucking kick it over or whatever. Crank it
doesn't even
over.
have a battery.
Dude, if you smelt the fuel that was in there, you
Yeah.
would not have fired it up.
Okay, well, obviously.
There
you
was
don't wanna
paint
use that
thinner in the gas tank, dude. But it was the color of vomit.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Stuff's gotta go.
Yeah.
I
definitely.
basically ended up with that because my parents forgot about me and felt bad after all my other siblings got some shit.
All my other siblings
So I
are
got
having
a
kids and getting
9-year-old
married.
On-off.
They gave me their dirt bike.
How did they forget about you?
I was an accident to start with. so-
Clearly. All his siblings
Guy
are like
was
30
too.
years older than him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they-
fuck, another one? God damn it.
Basically.
Yeah.
I was definitely, the not primary thought.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't want to say this on the podcast, but I'm just so happy I got my waste oil heater working again today.
What was wrong with it?
Why wouldn't you want to talk about that?
It died just because I think it's a pointless thing to talk about on the podcast. Hello, everybody listening, all 81 of you. My waste oil heater stopped working today, and I had a heart attack.
Yeah, I didn't listen to you when you gave me the whole story earlier.
So I really think it was just the filter. It has a spin-on filter like a car would have,
Yeah.
a bigger one. I think that was clogged, but I replaced it. But the pump is up at the top, like 6 feet in the air where the blower is, and it pumps it from the tank, so it sucks it up. And priming that it's some voodoo stuff that I didn't know. And I tried for about an hour, and I was like, oh my god, like the pump's gone or something. And like our HVAC guy, HVAC people, normal HVAC people won't work on those because they're too dirty. There's like,
Yeah, those ones are nasty.
that's like you walk within 5 feet of that, you get cancer.
Yeah.
So like the one guy
I worked
does
right
work.
underneath one.
Yeah, the one The one guy that does work on this, like last year, it took him like 3 months to show up here and start
Really?
just to service
Oh, yeah,
it.
That's how the
Yeah.
car guy is.
So I was freaking out. I'm like, one, I can't afford this guy because I know he's like $1,000 just to service this thing, and two, he's not gonna show up, and it's wintertime.
Yeah.
So I started panicking. So I was like, you know what? I don't know why, but I called literally the people that made the damn thing. And this middle-aged woman named, like, I don't even know what her name was. But I'm going to call her tomorrow and be like, you need to give that woman a raise, dude. She spent the first 10 minutes of the conversation basically, like, you could tell she's very seasoned in talking to dumb mechanics.
Really?
She took the first 10 minutes to just beat me down and laugh at me every time I
Really?
mentioned what I was doing and what I thought was going on.
Nice.
And just, like, making me feel bad about myself. And then she walked me through word for word exactly how to prime it perfectly, how to check spark, everything.
No shit.
Yeah, things you shouldn't tell a normal person that's not an HVAC
Yeah,
technician.
but anyone that's calling that company is probably a mechanic.
She walked me right through it. Bang, that thing fired right up, started working. I was so stoked. I was so happy. It was sketchy, though. I had to, like, take the... It's sketchy. The pump is also called a preheater. It heats it to 130 degrees and pumps it. So when it gets to the whatever,
I
the
think I've heard of
nozzle, it's nice and thin and also
Makes
pressurized.
sense.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So it's hot oil coming out of it, but it's slow. The volume is very slow, but the pressure is crazy high. You know, because it makes a mist.
Yeah.
So it's pumping out slow, but like you put your thumb over it and it'll just blow your thumb off. It's weird.
That's pretty cool.
Very weird. So like when I was trying to prime it, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh, nothing's coming out because the volume's so low. She's like, no, you gotta let it prime for like 8 minutes. And like I had to like hot wire the solenoids so it would keep running. It's crazy, but it worked. It worked.
You
And
ever run out of oil?
No, I've never ran out of oil.
You always have like a bunch of oil.
Yeah, I just, you know.
You got connections.
The first time I frantically, like last year, it was my first time with it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I ran it pretty low and I freaked out and I came across, I got hooked up with a shop that gave me like a couple 1,000 gallons. I was good. This year I got ahead of it. You know, I had like 1,000 gallons left and I started calling around and I came across like 1,000. I should be good to get through the winter, but I'm going to keep looking. I want to get full. All of that would get me through the winter, I think, if I had all of those full for next year. Well,
That's crazy, dude. That thing uses so much.
It's meant for like, it's meant for about half this building, yeah. So that's why it's constantly running.
Is there any other heat? Just that?
It's electric heat in here,
In here?
yeah.
There's no other heat for the
For
garage.
the shop, no.
You know what's crazy? Our waste oil heater at the shop runs at like 65, 70 every day, and we still can't burn our waste oil.
Well, it's because you produce so much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
your
what,
doors are
you're at a
opening.
dealership?
Dude, I open my door, what, twice a day? You open it 100 times a day.
Oh my god.
You know?
Fucking war.
We used to do that too. We used to have to pay somebody to come and
Yeah.
pump out our tanks.
We have to get safety clean to pump it.
So crazy. And it's like, and then there's me. I'm like, hey man, what's up? You got any extra oil?
Yeah.
Holler at your boy. And no, that's crazy. I'm gonna get this place way more insulated. That thing's gonna do a lot better next year. It's gonna be good.
Well, your walls help.
But hopefully, yeah. Anyways,
You're all over there.
yeah. But hopefully, I get so busy that the door opens more and the heater actually doesn't do a better job. That
Yeah.
just means I'm making more money. It's fine. You know. I want to get an electric door opener. Are you guys still manual at your shop?
Oh, yeah. Matt, get over here. Open the door for me.
Yeah, yeah. At the dealership, everyone had their own remote.
Yeah.
You open it, man, and we would get yelled at by the manager, dude. He would sit there and watch us come in, and you would open it within an inch of the roof of the car you're driving. Stop it, drive in, and drop it the moment your roof goes through, so the cold air doesn't get in. I never hit it, but a couple of the young
Oh,
kids
sure.
rip off the antenna and shit.
We just he just quit. One of our old finance managers drove into the door.
like that, like it wasn't open all the way.
Yeah, dude. He
Oh.
pulls it was like the middle of the day on like a Tuesday or some shit, and he pulls a car and he's like, "Hey, word for word, this is what he said." He goes, "Hey, I'm gonna leave this thing in here for like 20 minutes so it can thaw out." And I was just like, "No." I was like, "Pull it the fuck out of the shop right now."
Yeah.
And he's like,
That's the
"Whoa."
worst.
Yeah.
Working in a swamp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Oh
you.
my
Yeah, thank you
God.
so
He was
much.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." I was like, "No." I was like, "Get that thing the fuck out." So he goes to pull it out, dude, and it was a brand new WRX going on delivery. Fucking clips the shark fin on the door, dude. turns it down, crushes the roof in, bends the door.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Really?
It
Yeah.
was fucking bad.
It crushed the roof in?
We had a customer.
Because the shark fin
God.
hit the fin, it just pushed the fin in and just fucking.
We had a customer waiting for just an oil change one time, and the door was just open enough for this car to get out, and the mechanic backing out. You get cocky, dude. You hit the open button, and you're moving. You don't slow down, and you know it's gonna open just enough by the time you go through. He hit the close button on accident. Blew out the back window. It was like $600 because it had a heater in it and a wiper built into goes through the glass. Yeah, $600. So we had to go tell this customer that showed up for an oil change on our way to work. Like, here's our loaner. Sorry.
Yeah.
Doors
Sorry we
have
destroyed your car.
Come on now.
Ours does.
Come on now. It to stop it from going down, yeah.
Yeah.
But the window hit before the wheels crossed through the sensors.
I get what you're saying
You know what
now.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, it was sweet.
That's bad.
Doors messed
Actually,
up.
we said
What
someone
kind of car?
did that like 2 months ago at my work.
No, Chevy.
Car?
Yeah, it was a Chevy Equinox, a little minivan thing.
Minivan.
Yeah,
Sweet.
super. Big expensive rear window on that thing.
Yeah, one of the express dudes drove a fucking Outback right into the door and shattered the rear window.
Greenleaf, what do you want to talk about, man? Building roll cages? You want to talk about stuff? Oh, we got to shut off this fucking recording device. Curby, you done? What's up,
Yeah.
man? All right, guys. Thanks for
I
listening.
want to go work on my bike, so.
You're going to work on it? Yeah, what time is it?
9:30.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out and talk for a little while, so you
I just
can
want to pull the plugs.
you can scope your cylinders while me and Greenleaf talk.
Scope it out.
Yeah, so everybody go like Joshua Greenleaf on social media. It's the same on both, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and DMR Off Road, where you are employed and you
Yeah.
build roll cages, and
Sometimes.
sometimes you work on race cars.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you do brakes.
We actually have a sweet 442 in the shop right now. The big block Chevy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
442. I thought that was a Chrysler thing, not a
It's an
Chrysler.
old-
Pontiac? Is that a Pontiac thing?
It's the Wolves.
Pontiac
Oldsmobile,
and
yeah.
Olds
Yeah.
both
Oh.
made. Well, no, they made some of those cars came with like 455s or whatever, and Pontiac and Olds both made a 455. They were just different.
Hmm.
So like I don't know. That's probably the relation or whatever. But yeah, it's a Buick or whatever. I don't even know.
I don't know.
Oldsmobile.
It's a
Yeah,
442.
Oldsmobile.
It's a
Yeah,
442.
442. It's actually
Like a real 442 with the 4-speed and everything.
yeah, it's got a 4-speed. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was part of the issue. There was like shit banging around in the clutch. so it was
Nice.
making a bunch of noise.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got like a pretty fresh 427, but the guy who built it kind of murdered the thing. So we're fixing a few things.
Well, it's better to hear that than
It's a nice
it
car.
just sitting around rotting,
Yeah.
like some nice cars.
Yeah, no, it's getting tuned up.
I like to hear people beating on stuff.
Yeah, Dan likes. We all like working on
Race cars.
muscle cars and
Yeah.
race cars and shit. Yeah, and
Race car stuff is so much more fun than off-road stuff. I'm sorry, friends and customers.
yeah,
95%
some of
of
it
the
definitely
people that
is.
have been on here have been about cars.
Race car people, yeah. I think 95% of the people that are into rock crawling
Realistically, this is about
really
race
like
cars.
race cars. They just can't afford it.
Realistically, this whole one was about
Rock
race
crawling
cars.
is race car stuff, but you get more seat time.
That's where I started. I started with not really race cars,
But that's
like
and that's the similarity between
kind of big
drifting
drag racing.
and off-roading. Drifting and off-roading is the maximum seat time sports for motorsports.
Yeah.
Le Mans.
No, Le Mans happens. It's like one race. Drifting, like it literally just has to work and
Oh,
slide.
I get what you mean.
Rock crawlers,
No,
they just
no.
need to work and four wheels need to turn
I get what
and a
you
little
mean
bit
now.
of steering. You know
Need
what
a
I'm
lot of
saying?
steering.
It's like the most primitive but most seat time.
Speaking of
motorsports.
steering, have you heard of the new
Trials riding.
radial dynamic stuff that Eric Amata from
Mhm.
Mass?
I've been watching
Did you see the whole the video that he's
the demonstration
pressurized?
with the thing. Yeah, that was a little much.
What the fuck?
He needs to explain himself better before he goes uploading science like that.
What do you mean? You don't get it?
I'm like, oh, it's Eric, and it's like, I'm out of racing. I'm like, oh, cool, and he's like, stay tuned for new stuff soon. And then he drops a video like that. I'm like, dude, you can't just like put a lab coat on and start dropping science like that.
The one where it shows the flow
Yeah.
and the pressurized and non-pressurized.
Yeah, like,
system.
dude, announce yourself a little bit better, okay?
So me
Just
and
a
AJ,
guy I met rock crawling, and
me
now
and
you're.
AJ watched that video. We were in the garage over the weekend working on my Jeep, and we were just started talking about steering and stuff because he needs to get like a pump and a reservoir and stuff still. And he's like, oh, what should I do? Blah, blah, blah. What are my options? Because he doesn't want to just buy PSC stuff. He'd rather try and do something a little different. So I was like, hey, why don't you check this out? And he's like, what are you talking about? So I showed him the whole video, and, it's crazy how it is with the pressurized. So he messaged Eric, and I don't know if he's going to actually go with it, but they're like, I don't know, entry level or more affordable, I guess you could say, reservoir with filter and stuff like that. The pressurized reservoir is like $700. Whereas you can get a pressurized Howe for like 3 or 4. So I think you might end up going with like Howe stuff, but
so crazy. They just dived into that, dude.
Yeah, well, it's nice.
I don't even know how to explain it to you, dude. He just it's not mind blowing what he's doing. It's just like the way I know him, and then he just dived into that social media wise. There was no in between. He was just stay tuned for some future stuff, and then that.
I think he just started a business.
Yeah.
It's just a steering company. He's
okay.
He's just making all kinds of.
He's just making racing stuff.
It's high performance, mostly probably hydraulic steering.
Yeah.
Stuff for off road racing.
But well thought out.
Yeah.
Taking into account all the problems of every other style.
Well, the whole pressurized thing.
Yeah.
Has been. Well, it's not new.
It's not new, but
people have been doing that.
He's capitalizing on it and building something.
Yeah, well, Howe has a bunch of pressurized systems and stuff like that. Other companies do. I think AGR might even. We were trying to look the other day, but he's just doing something a little new. It's just a little different. And just the way that he's building everything is sweet.
And the way he went about doing that social media stuff with that video. Not everyone's doing that. Just dummies like me and you just, video.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed so much.
As opposed to hopping on forums, looking at AGR stuff. Do they even make this? Does it work? How does it work? Who's reservoir? Who's, pump?
Yeah.
He makes a video for us dummies.
Yeah, it definitely worked. I don't know. I'm definitely interested.
Here we are. We're sitting here talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have all PSC stuff now, which works, but I feel like there's a lot more to gain.
I hear, from what I can gather about PSC, rams are great.
Yeah, the ram is...
Pump from a ram up, just a lot of bad luck I've heard with pumps, even reservoirs.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had
caps.
I've had decent luck.
Really?
Knock on wood.
Now, a lot of pumps, man. A lot of people.
But you got to remember too, it's there's a lot of variables when you're talking about pumps.
I'm not talking about racing pumps. I think I'm referring to people that have PSC's stock Jeep replacement pump, a bolt-in one. That's the one I hear just fails all the time.
That's what I have. It's just a TC pump.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So I mean, you get a TC pump that has the reservoir mounted to it. That's all a stock Cherokee pump is. Right. Or you just, a PSC sells a TC pump with a threaded outlet. And then you'd put a reservoir, outside, whatever. A lot of people's problem is reservoir location, how far away it is, if it's downhill from, the pump or uphill or what.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with it. And some people you put it behind your pump every time you're climbing.
It starves it and then burns up the pump.
Right. It's got to pull.
That's what I'm always suspicious of. I'm like, is it, are you starving it and then blaming PSC? Is PSC not warrantying it because they saw your build?
Right.
There's
a lot of, a lot of variables. People say they have a lot of issues, but why are you having issues?
But then again, they sell the most stuff, so you're going to hear the most issues from them. Same amount of issues probably with every other company. They just don't sell as much.
Right.
So, I take back everything I said. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
everybody buy PSC
I don't know.
stuff.
I've had a PSC pump in my Jeep since it's had full hydro, and it's been, I don't know, at least it's been 3 years at least.
Look me in the eyes. I'm still running the steering box and hydro assist ram that you pulled off your shelf and handed to me for, I think, free. 7 fucking years ago.
Where did that come from?
Some other chuggy, a red one that you pointed out to me once at Field and Forest. It was they messed up tapping the box and they snot welded a big plate over the messed up tapped hole and then tapped that.
Oh, that was Pat Hunter's
Perfect.
rig.
Leaks, just enough.
Leaks just enough.
Perfect. Perfect. Still running it. It works
It's
great.
in the TJ?
It's in there right now.
Isn't that a different box?
No, it's the one that came out of the Cherokee. I actually never even... All right.
Alright, we got a limp mic over here.
Tighten your wing nut, dog. There you go.
Tighten your wing nut, dog.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's fine. I actually never, when I took the Cherokee apart, I never undid the hoses. I took the whole box out, zip tied it to the axle.
But no, isn't...
And then when I built the TJ, I rolled the axle under, undid the zip ties, and bolted the box up into the...
But doesn't isn't a so a Cherokee box is 3 bolts. Isn't a TJ 4 bolts?
Maybe. But there's 3 in there. No, I think it's 3. It bolted right in.
I don't
So,
know. I
yeah.
thought they were different boxes.
She's right up in there. No,
That's
I
cool.
think it's the
It
same.
wouldn't be.
Is the drag link and everything the same?
Yeah, it's all the same. That's why I like the front, all the front suspension of a TJ is the same as an XJ.
Yeah, I guess it
Everything's
is,
exactly
actually.
the same, yeah.
The steering and everything.
Except for
is
the
same.
extremely... With that wheelbase, it's so bizarre with the setup that my front drive shaft is so long. It's almost 3 times as long as my rear shaft.
Really?
Dude, it's like...
That's what she said.
It's like this long, my rear shaft's like this, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's not because I stretched it. That's one of the
TJ
only...
shafts are
Dude,
terrible.
that's one of the only reasons I stretch my Jeep. I'm looking at the angles.
Normal drive shaft in the back.
It's still only this big, but at least it's this big.
Yeah, rather
You know?
than this big.
Yeah, really. It was literally going to be double cardigan right to the yoke.
Yeah, we because we do slip yoke eliminators and shit in some TJs and stuff, and some of them, depending. So I think if it has like a Dana 44, it has a longer pinion, so
Yep.
the drive shaft's even shorter. So it's like double carding to a slip.
It's
to a
usually about
yoke.
like
there's no
there's
shaft.
like 2 inches of shaft or like 1
Yeah,
inch of shaft.
it's
It's
a little
ridiculous.
chode.
The welds almost touch each other. It's like, can you imagine balancing that? It must be a nightmare.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I feel
All
like
right.
you don't even have to.
I'm ending this.
yeah, ending it.
We're done. We're
Bye.
done. Wait. What's the name of our race team?
Rock Junkie Racing.
Oh God, what?
I don't know.
What?
Sarah already made sweatshirts.
What's Rock Junkie Racing? You got a job, dude. She made sweatshirts. What's up? I'm an XL, dude.
Well, she only made 2.
Oh wow, fucking do that.
She made them a while ago. No, I don't know. What do we got? Are we gonna make a new name?
I guess
We make a racing team
Ooh.
name?
we'll think about it on the way up there, and we'll make it out of duct tape. Put it on the hood.
We gotta figure out. I gotta put like a number on it or some sort. So I'm gonna have to.
69.
Well, I think they kind of give you a number. You don't really exactly get to choose. But either way. I don't know, we
Yeah,
gotta
that's
figure
what
out.
I'm asking about getting ready for racing. Do we need to display numbers? Do we have to blah blah blah?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's gonna be numbers.
My
on
only
the thing.
request is a big zip tie on my harness strap.
My Jeep's got cam locks.
I don't know.
Currently.
I don't know what that means.
You turn it, and they all go.
Ooh, okay, that's good.
They
That's
go flying out of it.
a little more fancy than a big zip tie. That's
Yeah.
whatever. All right, thanks. Built for These podcast number 8.
Is it?
Number 8. Yeah. Everybody go pay attention to Greenleaf and watch us go racing April 20th. Kirby
Watch
won't
your
be there
face.
because
I'll be at a weed party.
he'll be at a 420 party.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
See?
okay. You'll be the
my
opposite.
birthday's the next day.
Oh, dude.
I'll be partying. It's okay.
Should be an interesting weekend. Should be an interesting. Hopefully, we have something to celebrate besides your birthday.
Yeah, finishing the race.
I just want to finish, dude. If we finish, I'll be so hyped.
Look, I'm pretty. I hate to say it, but I am fairly confident, just because of the fact that I've been putting my Jeep through the ringer for the last like 3 years, and nothing has really failed that much. So as long as I don't crash, I think we got this.
I think we're gonna go slow most of it, to be honest with you.
I'm just gonna go. So the first guy that introduced me to racing and stuff, this off-road stuff, that I bought them super swampers off of, the SXs that I used to have on my Jeep forever ago with the blue wheels.
Steve.
Steve, yeah. He told me, if you go out there and you just hammer the thing and you try and beat everybody, you're just gonna dump it. You're gonna put it right into a tree. He said just go out and take a Sunday cruise. He said you're gonna finish.
I think that's what we're gonna end up doing. And then I think towards the end you'll be like, "Oh, it's still together.
Yeah.
Let's do this." But I think we'll go slow. But all right, everybody.
We're finishing.
Thanks for listening.
We got this.